Hi and welcome back to Plastic Models by a Regular Dude. Today I'm going to begin work on my entry into the IDF group build, sponsored by Steve Mottram, Sean Deary, and Greg Riley. I will post a link in the comments or in the description box below so you can check out my initial video talking about my entry. And in that video, in the description, there are links to all of those people's YouTube channels and also a link to the Facebook page. Alright, for record keeping sake, I am starting my build on July 12th at 6:15 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time in the good old US of A, California to be specific. I would use my phone to give that proof, but that's what I'm using to film this, so sorry, you'll just have to trust me. So anyway, this is the kit I'm doing, the IDF Magach 2. I'm doing the 2. Either kit can be built with this particular kit, or either version can be built with this particular kit. But I'm doing the 2, so I'll have to be sure and make notes on the instructions as to which one I'm doing. Also, for the record, I'm not going to do a step-by-step thing. I'm going to do like I've been doing of late and take a few steps at a time, assemble them. If anything tricky comes up or anything I think needs mentioning, I will actually do video of it. Otherwise, I'll just give a brief summary at the end of each video pertaining to the steps I've completed. So I'm going to go ahead now and get started and cut off some of these parts and get ready to start doing step number 1, which is the lower hull and the running gear, drive sprockets, road wheels, return rollers, etc. Alright, the first thing I will talk about on this kit is the fact that you get 2 upper hulls. And they're both on the A sprue. One has mounting points for 3 return rollers. One has mounting points for 5 return rollers. So the version that I am doing of this kit is one of these here. I haven't quite decided on the markings, but it'll be one of these. So obviously it's got 3 return rollers as opposed to 5. So therefore this is the one I need to use. So I'll use less parts when it comes time to do that. So for this first set of steps here, 1, 2, and 3, I'm going to go ahead and get all my parts ready for the version I need so I don't get anything mixed up. Alright, quick note number 1 on step 1. These parts here, C4, they fit on the upper hull here. Now this is actually in step 3, but it's this part right here, so I'm just showing you what to look for. It fits right here like this. Okay. For the return roller. So one thing to take note of, there's just one connection point to the sprue right there. Easy to clean up. However, on the back, don't know if you can see it or not, but there are a couple of ejector pin marks that project out from the part, so you need to remove those. And the way I did it is I just used my X-Acto knife here, my hobby knife, whatever you want to call it, and just trimmed it off. That way it'll sit really flush. You could sand it, whatever you want to do, but I like doing it like this. And then it'll sit really super flat. Alright, so here's where I am right now. Step 1, which is the final drive, the wheels, those are in another container right here. Cleaned up and ready to go. The return rollers and the drive sprockets. step 1, that's done. Step 2, which is all these lower hull fittings here, all that is complete. Step 3, the only thing I did on step 3 was I glued these filler caps on here and here, and I removed these raised portions here for the Magach 2, which is what I'm doing. After I did that, I skipped on over to step 4 and glued the upper and lower hulls together. The reason I did that is I wanted to be able to clean this stuff up without other parts and fragile parts on top being in the way, so I can, you know, actually manipulate and work them. So what I'm going to do, because of these parts here being removed, I'm going to have to sand it a little bit smoother, I think. And because there's a seam here, which seems more to be because of a chamfer on it. Yeah, it just might be overhanging a little bit, but whatever. I'm going to have to sand that down a little bit, and then I'll get some Mr. Surfacer 500 put on there and stipple all over this front portion of the hull here. I'm not going to worry about going back into here because this is going to be behind wheels and underneath fenders and everything, but I am going to do this part up here that's going to be visible, and do a real, you know, not real coarse cast texture. I'll keep it about like it is on the kit here, but it does need to be addressed. So I will do that, and once I do that, then I can move on to completing step 3 with the hatches, periscopes, other fittings, small fittings on there. Then I can jump on over to step 5, which is for the Magach 2, rear engine deck, rear plate, some of these other small fittings there. So that is where I am so far on the Magach 2 by Dragon for the IDF group build. So thanks for joining me on Plastic Models by a Regular Dude. Stay tuned, I'll have more later. As always, thanks for joining me here. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or hints and or tips for this particular kit, please post them in the comments section down below, and I will get back with you as quickly as humanly possible. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you all later.